Hey, happy Monday, leaders. Hope you're having a great start to your week so far. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. So today is Monday, right? Monday and Fridays, I'm going to be jumping on for a quick video on how you can develop an unshakable mindset. And why do you want to develop an unshakable mindset, right? Well, if you start to develop an unshakable mindset, right, that's where your success and your expansion for your business will really lie, right? Because a lot of times what holds us back is we're very emotional, right? And when we get emotional or we get down on, let's say, being rejected on a sales call or whatever it may be going on in your business expansion, that brings us down. It makes us stop the activity that will actually expand our business, right? And it slows down that activity. Right? And the way you feel, you'll start to attract the people, the places, the things that will allow, and the opportunities that will allow your business to actually expand where you see it expanding, right? As females especially, we get very emotional, and especially as coaches, you have a big heart. You want to help a lot of people, and you can get emotionally attached to specific things and people and take on their responsibility, want them to change so bad that you're doing everything and anything. But at the end of the day, right, we got to understand that you cannot change anybody, right? You do not have that much power, right? You can help them, you can guide them, right? But that person has to change. They have to want to change, and they have to change. We cannot change anyone. A lot of times we get drained because we want them to win so bad. Or we're like, okay, we want to help them so bad that we start taking responsibility of them changing, and that's not your responsibility, right? So, with that being said, I'm going to actually share the 4 agreements. I read this book probably 8 years ago or so. It's called The 4 Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. If you haven't read it, I really highly encourage it. It changed my life. It's actually a guide to personal freedom, right? I wasn't a big reader, but when I saw a guide to personal freedom is important to me, right? Personal freedom, to be free, is very important to me, and I'm sure it is to you. And so I said, wow, this is a guide. I'm going to commit to it. I'm not only going to read it, and you may have read it, but have you practiced it? Are you continuously practicing it? Are you continuously mastering it? And how you can know is if you feel free, right? If there's a personal freedom within you that you feel peace, any circumstance, any situation can happen. Maybe you may get down for a couple of hours or maybe 24 hours, but then you're aware of these 4 agreements and you're aware and you come back, right? You're able to push through. And the quicker that you get, the better, because right, it won't bring you down too long. All right, and so that's how you start to master it, by practicing. He says practice makes the master. Not reading it makes the master. It's practice makes the master. It's not knowing the quotes, it's practice that makes the master. And so these 4 agreements I'm actually going to share with you. If you don't have a pen and paper, I really encourage you to write these down. And then you'll be able to practice them as well. Not only for your personal freedom in your life, but I believe that 97% of the success and expansion in your business is going to come from feeling free for your personal freedom, but also incorporating these agreements into your business, into the strategy, into those calls where you're getting rejected, or those opinions from your family members or friends that are coming to you while you're growing your business. You're able to look at them differently. You're able to stay at peace and continue to move forward. Right? Getting no in the reach outs. I'm not interested. I can't believe you messaged me. Right? How are you handling those emotionally? Right? Those are your personal emotional trainers, your pets, personal emotional trainers. Those are all people, words that are being said to you that is practice for you. They're practice for you to not get so emotionally attached by it And by going into the first agreement, which is don't take things personally. Don't take things personally. Nothing anyone says is because of you. Nothing anyone says is because of you. Don't take it personal. All right, number 2 is don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions. Number 3, be impeccable with your word. Number 3 is be impeccable with your word. You can read that definition, but meaning have integrity with your word. Your yes is your yes, your no is your no. Only speak great things about people and great things about you. Speak the truth. Gossiping is not being impeccable with your word. Number 4 is always do your best. Always do your best. And that comes with practicing the agreements. If let's say you take something personally, don't get mad at yourself because you were doing your best in that moment in time. Don't think you have to be perfect at it, because you want to just always do your best, and your best is going to change, right, from day to day. Also, depending on how you feel. If you're feeling sick one day, your best is going to be this specific way. It may change if you're feeling great that day. That's going to be your best. All right. So if you apply this to your business, right, let's get a little deeper into these 4 agreements, right? Don't take anything personally. And this is for your calls as well. Your sales calls, if you're jumping on calls. Excuse me, it's a little loud here. Your sales calls, as well as even if you're doing the back end as far as the lead generation service right now, where you're getting a lot of people. You're getting a lot of people. Little dogs are fighting. To respond back to you, whatever anybody says, don't take it personal. Do not take it personally. Right? Nothing anyone says is because of you. Right? On your sales calls, when somebody says no, and there's a lot of different ways somebody can say no, don't take it personally. And it's easier said than done, right? Because once you get in a lot, you start to ask yourself questions like, is it me? What am I doing? Don't take their no personally, and it's going to allow you to handle those no's a lot better because you're not emotionally attached to it. You're seeing it very logical. Okay, maybe they just don't have enough information, right? Maybe they have to go ask their spouse, but they're not saying it. Maybe they don't believe that they will actually do the work, but they're not saying it. So no means a lot of different things, but don't take it personally. A lot of times, even in life, like right now, especially a lot of this is going on. You're living with family members, right? More time than usual, or with your kids, your parents, whatever it may be, and you're growing your business, and they say something like, I can't believe you, da, 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 da. I can't believe you missed this. I can't, whatever it may be, don't take it personal. A lot of times it's just that person's anger coming out, whatever's going on inside of them, and they're taking it out on you. It could be, right? It's their reflection of maybe what they're thinking at the moment. Even to the point, oh, Vanessa, you're ugly, right? Not taking it personal. Thank you. Right? And you don't have to take it personal. Something that will help you is when you know the truth. You're beautiful. Right? You know the truth within your heart. You know why you did it. You know your pure intentions of reaching out. As long as you understand that, and you're not agreeing, you only get upset and you react, when you kind of agree with that person, but you can respond when you know the truth and you practice and you live through being impeccable with your word. My arm's getting tired. I need one of those stick things. I know we have it. All right, so in your calls, while growing your business, whatever may come your way, and a lot of things are going to come your way. There's no expansion without a lot of rejection. It just doesn't happen. There's no achieving great results, great things without any resistance. And especially it comes from, people that you love, people closest to you a lot of times. Right? Maybe it could even be your own voices that are talking to you. Don't take those personally either. Right? Those voices are not you. Those voices are not you. Right? If you can observe the voice in your head, who's the observer? You can't be the voice and the observer. You're the observer of those voices. Don't take them personally. They don't have power over you. Your thoughts, the voices, they don't have power over you unless you put your agreement in them. If you just allow them to go through your mind, great, they go through. They don't have power over you. Don't make assumptions. Ooh, I had to work on this a lot. I would come, especially with relationships, you come to conclusions before you even ask the hard question. Learn and have the courage to ask the tough questions. And this goes in your sales calls. This goes in your DM inbox. Have the courage to ask a harder question, to ask the questions. It takes courage to ask questions. It's easy to assume. Oh, I can assume because that person said, no, I'm not interested. I can assume whatever I want to assume. I can assume that because of COVID, they don't have the money and they're saying no. Is that an assumption? That is an assumption. I'm making that based on what I believe or what I'm assuming. That could not be it at all. That could literally be, I get a lot of messages. This is another one. This person may not really care. And that's where you show them in the back end. You're not assuming, but you may ask another question. Totally understand timing is everything. But are you actually saying no because maybe you don't have enough information, or maybe you get messages like this all the time and you think this is just another message? Is it? Right? That's a tough question to ask. But you're going to actually find the truth once that person responds back. Right? So we did, don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. What else do we got? Be impeccable with your word. This is important. When you set a goal, right? When you say, I'm going to do this every day, make sure you do it every day. If you are not positive that you're going to follow through with that, don't say it. You don't have to. An example that you might be able to get is like, I don't know, maybe when you're, when people ask you, oh, come over, and sometimes you're like, yeah, I'm going to be at that webinar, or yeah, I'll come over, just to say yes, right, to get out the way. When you know you're probably not going to go, right? Why? But you want to give them an answer that they want to hear. No, practice actually telling them the truth. It's okay to say, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. I'll let you know. I don't want to actually say yes if I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to make it. That's being impeccable with your word. When you say yes, make sure that it's a yes. When you say no, make sure it's a no. When you commit to a contract or you commit to something, follow through with it. It's your commitment. You can also say no if you know you're not going to follow through with it. right? If you say yes, I'm gonna send you an email invite for our call 3 minutes prior. Make sure you send that invite. Of course, we all make mistakes, but the point is practicing to be more impeccable with our word every day. Also, saying, oh, I'm not good at this. I suck at this. I'm fat. All of those are being not impeccable with your word. Or even talking about somebody else. Oh, they suck at what they do. Talking bad, gossip. That is not being impeccable with your word. Your word is a sword. Literally, your words that you're speaking about somebody else, you're really speaking about yourself. Right? So we have to learn to start practicing. Our yes is our yes, our no is our no. What we say and what we speak about others is really what we're speaking about ourselves. Okay? Well, you want to make sure you're impeccable with that. There's a lot of freedom that comes with being impeccable with your word. A lot of freedom. You can say no. It's okay to say no. And it's okay to say yes. Right? And always do your best. Like I was sharing before, always do your best. Your best will change from day to day. But try to do your best each and every day. With also practicing the 4 agreements, as well as everything else that we do. Right? So the 4 agreements, one more time, for your business, for your personal freedom, for the growth, the expansion of your business. You'll start to look at things a certain way, practice it. It's freedom. It'll allow you to actually push through with the activity that is going to allow for the expansion, because I'm not taking anything personally. Yeah, I know I'm going to get rejection. I know many people are going to say no, right? But I know if in my heart it's with great intentions and I feel great about it, I don't care what that person says. I know whatever they say could be with what they're dealing with. Oh, it's COVID. I can't believe you're trying to get business and sales in COVID. No, I totally understand where I'm not taking it personal. Totally understand where you're coming from. This was my intention. Let's keep in touch. All right, you tell me your intention. All right, so don't take things personal. Don't make assumptions. Be impeccable with your word. And 4th, always do your best. Always do your best. All right, hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope you got something out of this. Not just listening to it, making sure to practice it, and practice it in your relationships. Practice it, in your everyday life. There's a lot of opportunity to practice it, but you have to make it in your mind that I'm going to start practicing it. And it's tough. It's challenging. It takes work, and you may mess up in the beginning, but because you're aware that, oh, wow, that's a great thing. Celebrate that. Because it's now you're aware of something that you weren't aware of before. Right now you're aware, so you've gotten better. And over time, you're going to get better and better and better and better. And it's going to be like you start to become unshakable, because now you have this personal freedom within yourself to be able to actually go out and do the activity in a great way and feeling great about it. Right? And not so attached to the result of it, but now I'm just doing the activity and I'm feeling great about it. Right? Because the activity will bring in the results. The consistency of the activity, the consistency of practicing these 4 agreements will actually allow you to master them. But if you're so attached on, oh, am I going to get it perfect? I'm never going to start. And that's the same thing with activities and within our business.